Tuesday, everybody. We're already 3/4 of the way through July. We got Mr. Jeff on as normal. Afternoon, Mr. Jeff. How are you?
I'll tell you what, I feel like I'm in competition with you this evening. That is a very Jeff Gregg shirt you have on there tonight.
I'm trying to step up my game so you appreciate me more.
I do appreciate it. You got multiple kind of flowers on there, and there's
palm trees and surfers and all that.
All I got is puppy dogs.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't compare to Megan's background, though.
Yeah.
Megan's on from Del Webb. How you doing, Megan?
Hey, everyone. Nice to see you guys.
As always, we appreciate you being on with exciting updates tonight for all things Del Webb, both Nextton, and we're going to talk a little bit about Point Hope, or really a lot about Point Hope. And we've had some clients already from a couple of our high-level overview videos about Del Webb Point Hope wanting information. So we brought on the best of all of them so that she can explain it all for us. And it's breaking news. I should have had a little scroll at the bottom.
Teamwork, baby.
I got you. But we want this to be an interactive process. So down in the comments, do us a favor, type in the comments where you're watching from and what are your names in case your display name is different than your real name, so we can say hello to you. And then we want you to ask lots of questions about Del Webb specifically, but also do us a favor and ask about anything about living in South Carolina, because we cover the whole state. So we'll try to not make up the answers, and Megan will fact check us too. So
that's a good idea, Mark, by the way. Telling people to write their real names if they've got like different screen names, because I always feel weird answering a question to like Autobox Butt Snarfer.
Yeah, exactly. So down in the comments, post your questions. We'll get to those. We got a couple of comments already. Michaela says, yes, breaking news. Yes, Michaela. Thomas, hello from St. Cloud, Minnesota. How you doing, Thomas? Hope you're doing good. Haven't seen you in a while. Let's see who else is on. Mike Peters is on. Mike and Becky from Maryland. Hey guys, thanks for joining. Robert Gansky is on here in Charleston, hoping to fly out sometime tonight. You've been at the airport for a while. I saw on your Facebook post that you were at
there's some pretty good storms that rolled through this afternoon.
Yeah. Tony and Lori are on from New Jersey. What's up, guys? Who else we got on? Wes and Heidi from Connecticut. By the way, Wes wants to know where Jeff gets his shirts from.
My closet.
You have no idea because your wife buys them. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, my closet. I get them from my closet.
Valerie says, this is my real name. Yes, thanks, Valerie. We just talked to Valerie the other night. Ron is on. Ron and Dawn from Keene, New Hampshire. That's your neck of the woods, Megan, right?
It is. Yeah. Concord, New Hampshire originally. So
okay.
I promise if you move, you won't be disappointed.
That's right.
Though New Hampshire's beautiful in the summer, just not so much in the winter.
Yeah.
John is on from New York. How's it going, John? We got Diane. Joy is on from Long Island. We got a lot of people on tonight. Diane and Dave, that's right, from Maryland. Kathy is on from Cincinnati. We have Loretta on from Pocono up by Jeff's old area. Ken is on from Del Webb. You know Ken, right, Megan?
I don't know Ken, but I see Joe Norton down there. I know Joe.
Okay. Ken moved in into the phase 8, I think.
Okay, nice.
Ivy and Joe are on from New York. Hey guys, how's it going? Roberta is on. Bobby and Bo from Little River.
Bobby and Bo, I love that.
Right. Vic and Lori on from Montgomery. Joe Norton. Hi, Megan and fellas. Ken, yes. So I was right on phase 8. Joy said, we'll see you guys later this week. Looking forward to meeting you in person.
Yeah, exciting.
Can't wait. And then Bob is on from Connecticut. All right. I think I hit them all.
Awesome.
So tonight, Megan, you want to talk a little bit about Nextton first, and then we'll kind of get into the Del Webb Point Hope, or does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds like a plan to me.
what kind of updates do you have for Nextton? I know we got a lot of new lots coming out along, what's that, phase 12 now?
Phase 12, you got it. And we just cleared phase 13, so we're moving right along. We got, definitely a lot ahead of us. So for everybody who's looking to move in the next 1 to 3 years, don't worry. We have a lot more lots that are under development at the moment. We're a little bit over halfway done with Webb Nexton, which is hard to believe. We've been here 6 years now, actively building in the neighborhood, and probably have another 4 or 5 years left. So we're a little over halfway, which is exciting.
That's awesome. And then also all the new amenities are going to be starting to be built soon. Pickleball's already started, right?
You got it. Yeah. Everybody that I'm following up with, follow me on socials for updates regarding the pickleball courts, because those are already underway with 300 people in our pickleball club. The 4 pickleball courts were not cutting it. They weren't doing the job. So we are actively under construction on 6 more. So a total of 10 by the time those are done for outdoor courts. But even more exciting is that when it rains or when, it's too hot to play pickleball outside in the summer, we are going to be starting our indoor gymnasium building right after Labor Day. So we'll have some indoor courts to add to that as well. So very exciting.
And that'll be almost right over your shoulder.
Yeah.
To the right.
I gotta see where I am here.
Yeah.
I think, where am I? I'm by the sun deck. So yeah, kind of right over here, I believe.
Yeah.
Is where that gymnasium's going.
And then you guys are going to be the only ones with a restaurant and bar coming soon, and that'll also start November, September, somewhere around there.
Yeah. So right after Labor Day. I think we were holding off. We could have started them earlier, but we wanted to give everybody time to use the pool this summer before, those major projects go underway. So right after Labor Day, we're planning on breaking ground for the bar and grill restaurant and the indoor gymnasium. And we're anticipating about a year to have those, under construction and fully completed. So our hope is that we can have them open for maybe the summer of 26, if not, fall time frame next year.
Okay, awesome. So I know you're on a lot of the Nextton development calls as well. And I know people have been asking about the traffic light at Midtown. I think you had told me it should be coming kind of when that school gets opening. Is that still on plan, do you know, or is there any other updates?
Yep, you got it. So, they're planning to have that school open for the fall of 2026. Once that school goes in, of course, there's going to be a lot of people trying to pull in and out of that neighborhood with all the school traffic. So at the same time of opening up the school is when they're going to have that light fully in place. But, I'm pretty certain it's already fully approved. It's just a matter of putting it in at the right time. So,
okay.
Yep.
Awesome. Jeff, go ahead.
Jeff.
Lots that you have now available. Are those couple lots gone that had the long pond view that you and I showed the other day?
We have one, in my opinion, that's really, really good. Obviously, the one we were walking the other day with those clients. So that is lot 1216. That one's still available. A very rare, unique home site where you're seeing, not one, but 2 ponds, and then both fountains in both ponds, which is great. And then there's 2 more that are kind of on either side of that kind of have a catty corner view. That's still very nice. So yeah, I would argue that there's 3 that are left that are really, really great lots over there.
And then are the ones released that are on that same road on the opposite side down another 50 yards on the left where there's a pond and then it's backed up to a tree line after that?
Yep.
Yeah, I think those are great lots also.
Yeah, so obviously Mark's got the video going there. So the ones on the right-hand side of this road, which is Coral Bells Lane, there's a nice water view, and then we don't own those trees. I have to be very honest and upfront. However, we do have a map of that area where they're putting in a neighborhood that is 75% wetland property, and they have designed that neighborhood within those wetlands to avoid the wetland areas. So according to that map that we have, those trees are all staying. So
Nice.
really
Mark,
nice
stop
pretty
there.
views there.
Okay.
And then on the left here is where we were saying there's still a couple lots looking down from in there and down that long pond view and actually onto another pond after that.
Yep. You got it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are
Really
some cool
beautiful.
lots
They
right
sold
there.
really quick because those are rare
I
views
would
that you
think
get in
so.
the neighborhood.
Yeah. So the other exciting thing I've been noticing is lots and lots more restaurants and golf cart ability from Del Webb. So they've got, when you pull out now, that sidewalk is open to the right that takes you down to the Publix, and then you can cross the road to the Harris Teeter. And Mark, you and I just did a video the other day. There's the Nan Indian restaurant that just opened there. There's the stone-fired, wood-fired pizza something or other place. And then there's even more restaurants coming there in that public shopping center. So it seems to me that just within that section with the Publix and the Harris Teeter, there's probably going to be 10 restaurants that you can get to by golf cart from Del Webb. So that I'm really excited about that. I think people are really liking that.
Yeah, absolutely. And even directly across the street around Harris Teeter there, I mean, they're putting in a whole nother probably 10 to 15 different restaurants on that side. So
Yeah.
I think there's a Mexican restaurant, East Bay Deli's coming to that area. There's a new, oh my gosh, have you all tried Som on Johns Island? It's the wine bar out there.
No.
Really good. I've been a couple times with my girlfriends, but Som is going into that shopping center right next to Harris Teeter. So another really good option if you're looking for an afternoon cocktail.
Did you hear there's a restaurant going down in past the Publix that has like gourmet churros?
No, but that sounds delicious.
Yeah, it's Dolce, Dolce. It's got churros and some sort of alcohol too. So yeah.
I'm leaving as soon as we're done with the live. I'm going to park in front of it just in case they open tomorrow.
Love it.
Nice.
So you guys, let's just refresh everybody's memory that there's in Del Webb in Nextton, we've got the ability. Obviously, there's resales in there, but you guys have build from the ground up home where you can go in and pick your everything, which is becoming less and less of a thing that 55 plus builders are doing. It's becoming kind of one of your specialties where you can pick everything. And you guys have a brandy new design center that I was just at the other day. First time I was in there with clients. It was really pretty.
Yeah.
And so how many spec homes are you trying to keep coming at all times right now? And I assume those are mostly the middle sizes of the houses that you're doing the most of.
Yeah, just really at this point in time, most of them are going to be distinctive homes, which again is that mid-series, anywhere from 1,600 square feet up to about 2,000 square feet. So if my memory serves me correctly, we have 3 Palmery quick move-ins available. And then we also have a Prestige. So those are the 4 that we have at the moment. Now, not to say we're always constantly starting new ones as well. We do understand that not everybody has the ability to wait 6 or 7 months to do new construction and to personalize their own home. So we do try to keep an eye on always having ones that are coming out of the ground. Now, we usually do most of our quick move-ins as our Scenic series, which is the smaller homes, anywhere from 1,300 square feet or so up to about, 1,600 square feet. However, we are in a unique situation where a year ago, those smaller homes weren't selling as well as the mid-size homes were. So we had actually dialed back on starting new home sites under development for the Scenic series. And now suddenly it's been like a total 180, where as of 6 months ago, everybody's scooping up the Scenic series. So we've kind of had to pivot a little bit, but because of that, we're running out of Scenic homes. I think we only have 11 left in phase 12 right now. And then we're going to be, in a little bit of a gap out period waiting on the next phase, which is probably not going to be, till mid 2026.
Okay.
So we're going to be relying
suppose
heavily
this is
on the distinctive and the echelon during that period
3
of time.
Palmerys available. And I was thinking about that. And I
Yeah.
was thinking, okay, are there 3 Palmerys available because people don't want the Palmerys? But I think it's actually the opposite. I think you guys started building more Palmerys because it is such a popular model.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, you're exactly right. We have 1 Palmery. That's actually 2 Palmerys that are fully move-in ready. One of those actually was just because of a contingency that unfortunately the person couldn't sell their home wherever they were coming from. The other one we did start as, a quick move-in. And then we have 1 more that is just entering framing. So that one's going to be done kind of late October, early November timeframe.
Okay.
It looks like they haven't released that one on the site, so that's just for our clients. If you guys want that one, we can get it for you.
If you need something later in the year, we got you.
Yeah. So that's awesome.
So how much later in the year do they need to be if they decide they want to be down at Point Hope? What's the skinny down there? What's the timing looking like?
Yeah. So pretty exciting that I have a pretty good, kind of preview for your clients. You're hearing it first because a lot of this is not public information yet. But we're pretty excited to say that we're going to be taking VIP appointments mid-September. So if anybody is on this call and they are interested in Del Webb Point Hope, I highly, highly encourage you to go on our website and make sure that you are registered, to get updates, because they are going to be emailing out information about a VIP event in September. In order to get invited to that event, there's 2 things that you're required to do. One of those will be to watch a 10 to 12 minute, short introductory video. It's kind of a seminar video about the neighborhood. And then the second thing is going to be a VIP survey that will be sent out, just so we can, gain information from the type of people that are looking to move into the neighborhood. And if you do both of those things, then you will be invited to a VIP event, where we're going to have essentially a groundbreaking tour of the home sites that are going to be available and the models that are going to be available. And then from there, you'd be able to schedule a VIP pricing appointment, when we will have finalized pricing available to sit down and actually run through a price quote.
And is that, so when they sign up for that VIP event, is there a place for them in there to say, hey, I'm working with Jeff and Mark, or do they have to call us and get us added on afterwards?
Yeah. So, absolutely. If you are working with a real estate agent, you can certainly let us know when we first meet with you, or as we're reaching out to these VIP clients to connect with them. That is going to be, something that we'll ask. So at that point, they could let any sales consultant know that they are working with you and your team.
Go.
We already got a couple questions on that. So is the VIP going to be in person, or can it be virtual because a lot of our clients are obviously out of town?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's one that I can ask our team. It's possible we'll do one of each. I do know that the groundbreaking event will be in person because, again, that's kind of designed to be kind of a VIP preview where, you can get boots on the ground and actually see some of the home sites we'll have available. But I love the idea of doing one virtually as well. I can certainly take that back to my team and see if we can incorporate that.
Awesome. Is there a way that we can make sure Diane's on that list, because she said she signed up, but just hadn't received anything?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're not receiving anything from, our marketing team, then there is probably something wrong in the system. Go ahead and, they can shoot you an email, Mark, and you can forward it to me, and I can definitely make sure that we have them signed up for those.
absolutely. You can just email it to me, Mark at Charleston Area Living or info at charlestonarea.living.com. And I'll get both of those. Somebody else asked, is Point Hope going to be limited to single-story homes only?
Yeah. So it will be very similar to what we do in Webb Nexton, as far as I'm aware. It will be single story included, meaning that every home comes as a single story with the option to add a second floor if you're looking for some additional living space in terms of a loft with an additional bedroom and bathroom.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, Diane, we know you're working with Mike. You can just send it to me, and he's on our team, so we're good. Yep. Daniel says, "Hey, y'all from Chesterfield, Michigan."
Hello, Daniel.
John and Vicky are on from Columbia. They're moving into Del Webb here soon. And then Jeff, Brian said he saw your mom at Harris Teeter the other day. She could be a local celebrity.
I'm guessing Mom was day drinking while grocery shopping. That's how we roll. That's how we roll.
Love it.
So the houses in the Del Webb and Point Hope are they going to be the same models as we do out in Nexton? So
they are going to be the same floor plans. However, there will be some slightly different models. So for instance, I know we're doing a Mystique model out there. I believe we're doing a Prestige, if I'm recalling correctly. We're doing a Compass. Those are all floor plans we offer in Del Webb Nexton today. However, we don't have fully decorated models for them. So it's going to be nice that they can kind of play off of one another, where if we don't have a model in Del Webb Nexton, you can go over to Del Webb Point Hope and tour it there, and vice versa.
And I pulled up the directions for that. It's only 39 minutes away. So we can show you both while you're in town for sure. That's not a problem.
I was just actually talking about that, Mark. We're going to be doing some more driving back and forth between the two. I think a lot, but I think my point is for the same models is that Mark and I have all of these models on the channel. So preliminarily, before Point Hope opens and before the VIP event, you can go back through our channel and get a video walkthrough that's going to be almost exactly what we're talking about. That's available down in Point Hope.
Yep.
Megan, you sent me over a map. Is it all right if I share that map with everybody?
Yes, I would. This is, again, groundbreaking news, because nobody has ever laid eyes on this before.
Ooh,
yeah. And
So this down here at the bottom of the screen where this arrow is, that'll go out to Clements Ferry Road. But for now, it looks like the main entrance is going to be off this side road called Cane Hoy Road.
Correct.
Is that accurate?
That is. Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to try to zoom in now so they can see it. So
I'm getting all up in here too. I'm excited.
I know, right? So just to give everybody some background. So this neighborhood, Del Webb Point Hope, is going to have around, I say estimated, but around 770 homes total. So it will be about half the size of Del Webb Nexton. And as you can see from this map, actually what this is showing you is our very first phase in terms of lots. So I was pretty surprised when I was told that in the first phase, we're going to have a little over 100 home sites. Wow. Because that's pretty large for, a phase coming out of the ground. So that's really exciting. We're aiming for technically a grand opening event in January, which I did mention there's going to be VIP events prior to that. But we thought, going into the new year would be a really good time to do that grand opening. Now I will mention the amenity center, like many Del Webbs in the past, will not be built upon opening. We are aiming for about 2 to 3 years out, because we have to have, obviously the reserves in place, and we have to have, people actually living in the neighborhood to utilize that amenity center. And that can take some time. However, I was also very surprised and excited to hear that I actually love that you're zoomed in here, because on letter F, that is going to be a lot where we are going to be putting a lifestyle house. Hold on, let me make sure I have that right, because they called it, lifestyle house, where we're going to build basically a home the size of a residence that will have, a pool you can use outside. It will have grills you can use outside. It will have an indoor workout studio. So it's designed to have, kind of some amenities as we're opening. It's going to be open pretty quickly for the summer 26 season. So that way those things are still there for you to utilize even before the amenity center opens, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, that's smart. Is that?
Yeah.
That is so smart. That is awesome.
Yep.
All right.
And then I'm trying to think model. I'm trying to see here. Where am I? Let me orient myself. So, yep, you can already see letter A is the sales center. We are going to be selling out of our Point Hope Pulte model for a period of time, just until those models are ready to go. We're anticipating that, the designers are going to be able to get in there in November once those are done, and we'll have those open and ready for public viewing, hopefully by December 1st. Those models will be in place, and you can see the models there, lots 1 through 6, right on that nice big pond. Pretty similar to an amenity building that you see in Webb Nexton. You are, going to have indoor outdoor swimming pool. You will have, a fitness facility, an aerobics studio where the classes are held. You can expect very similar things that you see in Webb Nexton, with the addition of also a boathouse, which is very exciting. So I believe that's letter E there. But we are going to have, a kayak launch or dock with a nice kind of sitting area and bar, kitchen, not serving food, but, just kind of a nice area you can gather for, parties between neighbors, right in that little boathouse there. So.
And then obviously tennis courts, pickleball courts down here. Bocce is down here.
Yep.
And that's it. Okay. Awesome.
Yep. You got it.
So, Megan, you're moving down to this, or are you staying at Nextton?
So, plan as of right now, which of course I always tell people things can change at the drop of a dime, but I am planning to go over there starting in September.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Very nice.
A new neighborhood.
Daniel says, "Love your videos." Thank you so much, Daniel.
Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah. Valerie says, "Will you be able to take your golf cart to shops, restaurants at Point Hope?"
That is a great question, and one that I do not know the answer to at the moment. I can certainly look into that. I know that our neighborhood is across the street from many of the restaurants that are now open, and it is a little bit further down the street from kind of the main intersection. So I would have to find that out to see if the developer plans to put golf cart paths to connect to that shopping area. I would assume so eventually. I just don't know that for sure, or when those are planned to go into place.
Yeah, when Jeff and I were down there, it seemed like it was a little bit far right now. But yeah, I think if they add in some additional, because like there's a sidewalk there, so you could get across the street and then go down the sidewalk. But I think there would be some development needed based on what we saw anyways.
Right.
Robert said, "Is there going to be a golf course there?"
Not within the gates.
Right.
No, unfortunately, our property is not big enough to accommodate the golf course.
Yeah, but there are several that are close, Roberta.
Correct. Yeah.
So not a problem. Barb says, "Will you guys be doing a video touring across the street and going down the sidewalk?" But I think there would be some development. Okay, so I think that's similar to what I just said. Awesome.
We can find a way to go drive around through the woods out there. Trust me, we will. We almost got stuck out there already.
I do have some drone from April. Obviously, this has changed a little bit. Let me see if I can pull it up. Yeah, here we go. And so this was coming off Clements Ferry Road. So this was off the bottom of the map, and they had done a lot of work since we were out there in November. It seemed like things really got moving once the new year hit, and you can kind of see based on the map and this drone, there looks like there's a good amount of homes that will be backed up to preserve, and not all houses back to back based on that map and everything.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of really, really nice home sites in here. You're going to have the water views. You're going to have, the wooded areas if you like a very private backyard. We're anticipating this is going to be a really, really cool, unique neighborhood. A little bit closer to the beach for people, a little bit closer to Mount Pleasant. I know there's a lot of people that love the Mount Pleasant area. So yeah, it will be fun to see it get off the ground here, and we're excited to welcome everybody as soon as we're open.
Yeah,
I think that closest to Mount Pleasant is going to be a big deal, because we've actually talked to people, and some of them might even be on the live tonight, where they have kids living in Mount Pleasant and they wanted to be in the 55 lifestyle, and so they were waiting for this option because they've got family that lives in Mount P.
Yeah.
Barb said, "Sorry, my question caught part of our conversation." That's when it makes sense. So, Barb, if you go to our regular Point Hope video, not the Del Webb one, you'll see some of the shopping that's over there. And we can get some more next time we're down there to kind of show all the shops. There's a Publix, there's a Family Larry's, there's a Jersey Mike's. There's some really cool bars with a field in front of them. And there's a community house. I'm sure they'll have community events there and things like that. So we can get some more of that. But if you go to the normal Point Hope non-Del Webb video, you can see some of that in that video.
It kind of had a little mini Nextton feel to it.
It did. Yeah, it did, for sure. Daniel says, will there be a pool table at the new amenity center?
I don't know if he's talking about this one or the one in Del Webb Nexton, but I get this question a lot, and I really feel like I need to fight to have an indoor pool table added somewhere, because a lot of people
I agree.
Billiards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about the new one at Del Webb Nexton. I know that that's some feedback they've gotten, and I wouldn't be surprised if they try to incorporate that somehow. We do have one outside underneath the covered, what am I trying to say? The covered porch area.
Yeah.
So you can utilize that. And then as far as the one in Point Hope, I don't know that, honestly. We've thought that far as placement of furniture and everything. So I can look into that and find out, but not that I know of off the top of my head.
See what great feedback you're getting already for your new community, man.
Right?
I know. Again, it's something that I get asked a lot about in Del Webb Nexton. So I feel like we should try to do that for the people.
Barb said, what's the price point? So starting in the low 500s, right?
Yeah. So, they have released price bands on the website. So if you go to Del Webb Point Hope, you can see, kind of the rough price band for that particular home. I will tell people, we anticipate seeing a difference between Del Webb Nexton and Del Webb Point Hope, anywhere from about 150,000, depending on the floor plan. The dirt in Mount Pleasant is very, very expensive, as most people know. So it will come with a little bit of a higher price tag as well.
So in Nexton right now, what are the ranges where we go from 0 to close to 50 for the lot premiums in Nexton now?
Yep.
And so I think Mark and we don't really know what these numbers are going to be, but I think it's very possible that they're double, if not more, because of the cost of the land for Point Hope versus Nexton.
Correct. And again, a lot can happen in between now and the time that we're releasing these lots. So we're always very careful. I don't have pricing for the lots quite yet. It's going to depend on market conditions at the time that they're released for sale, but I would expect them to be higher than what you see in Del Webb Nexton.
Now, we always talk about whenever we have a neighborhood that is not have an amenity center open yet, we typically see the prices lower in those neighborhoods, and then they go up once the amenity center is open. And there's no way for us to predict if that's going to be true or not true. But I'm guessing there is a difference in the monthly fees. Do you know those yet?
So I have approximations. I will make sure to disclose that these are estimates at this time. But yes, from what I've seen, we're going to have an HOA starting kind of in the low 200s per month for Del Webb Point Hope to start. And then once that amenity center comes on board, that will likely shoot up to about $300 per month, right around there. And then we also do have a master association fee for being part of Point Hope, which is going to run about $50 per month. Okay. So that's kind of what you're looking at this point in time. But again, I'm careful not to disclose final numbers until we're there.
Yeah, I get it. We're not holding you to anything. We'll take what we can get.
Jeff, can you clarify the numbers you just mentioned? I'm assuming she means about the lots.
Yeah, so whenever you build, there's a base price plus what you put in the house, and this is all building from the ground up. So your base price is going to be $500,000, let's say, and then typically people put upgrades in them equaling 10 to 20%, Megan, of the base price of the home. Is that an average?
I would say right around that 20% is what we see most often. But of course, it depends on the individual.
Yep. And then you have to buy the lot also. So there's lot premium, which is, let's call it, let's make up a number, say the lot premium is $100,000. The base price of the home is $500, and you're going to put another $100 into it. So that base price house of $500 doesn't end up being $500. It ends up being $700 because nobody has ever purchased a base home. You're always going to add stuff to it. Now, Pulte does add nicer stuff on their base than a lot of other builders do. So, but we've yet to sell one. You're going to add. I mean, that doesn't include a screened-in porch. That doesn't include the gourmet kitchen. That's carpet probably in the bedrooms, and most of our clients are going with LVP hard floors throughout the house. So there's always going to be significant upgrades to get to the end price. But the good news is that Megan's rule, and we do this all the time with her in Nextton, and we're going to start doing it all the time with her in Point Hope. When you do come to town and see if this is right for you, be it Nextton or Point Hope, within a half an hour, we can sit down and come up with a pretty tight number as to what you're going to build this house out at. So if you want the stardom and you want to be on a wooded lot, and if you were to put the stuff in it that most people would, you're going to end up at X, and you're going to be able to go home with that number to know if this is the right neighborhood for you or not.
Yep.
Awesome.
Mark, there was a comment up there from Roberta that we missed that I think is a great question. Do you see it, or are you going to pop it up there?
Yep, I got it. Is there going to be a security gate?
Great question. Yeah. So Del Webb Point Hope will not be gated. That is going to be a large differing factor from Del Webb Nexton. It had to do with the approval of the roadways, keeping them public versus going private. I don't know the ins and outs of that, but it will not be gated.
Excellent. All right. Did I miss anything else, Jeff?
No, you didn't. I have a question though. Do we know now what the flood zones are going to be looking like for this neighborhood?
Yes. Everything in Del Webb Point Hope that I am aware of is in flood zone X.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for those of you that don't know, X flood zone is what we're looking for. If you do have a mortgage on your house, you do not have to have flood insurance. Obviously, if you choose to have flood insurance, that's fine. But it's significantly less expensive than if you need to have it. I don't know what it's like down there yet. This is one thing that Mark and I don't have a handle on yet, and Megan probably doesn't yet either. But in Summerville, like in Del Webb and Nextton, if you chose to buy flood insurance in your house, you're probably talking $400, $500, $600 a year. And so we'll learn what that's going to look like for Point Hope also. But hearing that the whole neighborhood so far that we know of is X is exactly what we were hoping for.
Yep.
Megan, you probably know a little bit more than I do. A lot of people will ask about medical. In this new community, I'm guessing Mount Pleasant is the closest medical, and I think that's about 15 to 20 minutes away. Is that about right, do you think?
Yeah, as far as I know of, to be honest, I just got caught wind that I was even going over there. So I'm
Yeah.
kind of learning as you both are. I know going into that neighborhood, actually the video you showed, Mark, that new building that was there to the
Oh yeah.
left-hand side
Yeah.
was an MUSC. I
Okay.
just don't know exactly what that specific location will entail. It looks a little small to be a full-scale hospital.
Yeah.
So maybe it's family medicine offices. I'm not sure. I can certainly find out. But yeah.
Good. And then, so from Nextton Del Webb, we're about 40 to 45 minutes from Isle of Palms. I just looked it up on the map while you guys were talking. It's only 23 minutes to Isle of Palms Beach. So if you are a feet in the sand type of person and you want to be 55 plus in the whole Charleston area, this is going to be the closest to the beach for sure. You won't be able to golf cart there, but it's as close as you're going to get in this area anyways.
And if you do want, listen, this is outside of our market, but we also do work up in the Myrtle Beach market. The Del Webb in North Myrtle Beach is very close to the beach, and it is golf cartable to the beach. So if that is something that is really your hot button, schedule something with us also, because we're working at the Del Webb up in North Myrtle Beach also.
Yeah. All right. What other questions you guys have? Keep them coming in the comments. We want to answer all of those. I know we hit on a lot of the high points. We talked about the models being available maybe closer to December. All right, we just got a new comment. Talisha said there's a veterinarian clinic at the public shopping near Point Hope. Okay, so medical for your pets is right there.
Yeah, forget you. As long as your puppy dog's taken care of, you're good to go. Megan, let's talk about the kind of the Pulte building process, the warranties on the structures, and what all that looks like.
Yeah, I love this question. So warranty wise, I actually came from the warranty department. So really passionate that, I think we're doing a really good job of making sure we're proactive about warranty, which I know a lot of people have concerns that when they call the builder, you never know who's going to pick up, where they're located, how long it's going to take for them to get out there. Well, all of our warranty is in-house, meaning that all of our customer care representatives are Pulte employees, and they're all based out of the neighborhoods that they are serving. So for instance, in Del Webb Nexton, our whole entire customer care team in Del Webb Nexton sits upstairs in our building. I think that's pretty rare, to have an on-site team ready to respond to anything that's coming up. So at the end of the first year you live in the home, we actually call you, and we actually call you at 10 months because we want to make sure that we're getting to you before your 1-year warranty expires. We want to make sure you don't forget that 1-year walkthrough, because when we're coming in to do that appointment, we're going room by room and we're making sure that we have a list of things that you want taken care of at that point. So anything from nail pops to drywall cracks, door adjustments, cracks and caulking, a lot of that is going to be from the natural settlement of a new construction home. And again, very proactively, we're calling you to make sure that we come in and actually fix all of those things that you're noticing. So that's pretty rare, I think, for a builder to do. And then 2-year warranty is going to cover your HVAC, plumbing, and electric systems. We are the only company who does a 5-year leak protection. So we're very confident in the materials that we're using and the way those materials are installed, that we extend that warranty 3 years longer than many of our other builders in the area. A lot of other builders are only going to have that 1 year, 2 year, and 10-year coverage. So for us to kind of go that extra length and provide that 5-year leak protection, I think says volumes about what type of company we are. And then, of course, any structural concerns, anything related to structural integrity is going to be covered for that 10-year period.
So I assume things will be fairly similar in Point Hope as in Nextton. What does the process look like if they do want to build from the ground up? How soon until design? talk about some of the money, the deposits, like what does that flow look like?
Yeah. So to build, we're looking at about a 6 to 8 month build period. We're lucky that everything in the building industry right now is going very smoothly, knock on wood. So that tends to be more towards the 6 month period than it does the 8 month. But during that process, as soon as you're ready to move forward with securing a lot, we require a $10,000 deposit to secure the lot in your name and to go under purchase agreement. And then once we sign a contract with you, you're going to be going to a design center appointment roughly about 3 to 4 weeks after signing an agreement with us. But of course, that depends on, your schedule, the schedule of the design center. Could be earlier than that. Just depends on what that looks like. And then at the design center, you meet with our fantastic designer, Ann Michaud. She's been doing this a long time. Brand new design center, as you mentioned, Jeff. It's very, very beautiful. We just fully redid it. And then after that appointment, once you've selected all your interior finishes, we do usually require a second and final deposit. That is the remaining 20% of the purchase price. Now, if for any reason that's an issue, just have a conversation with us. We can certainly kind of chat about those details. And then from there, we're waiting for building permits to come back from the county. So once those building permits come back, which usually takes about 6 weeks, we're starting vertical construction. And during the process of vertical construction, you have 3 meetings with your builder. The first one, well, actually technically 4, excuse me. The first one will be your introduction meeting where you get to meet your builder. We're going to review the building process with you so you know what to expect. We're going to, establish communication standards. We're sending you weekly photos every single week. I know your team is great about sending video walkthroughs, just so you can definitely stay up to date with what's happening each week as we construct the home.
That meeting can be virtual.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Do not have to travel back for it.
Yep.
And then your second meeting is going to be the pre-drywall meeting. That is where you are allowed to hire a third-party inspection company to come through. And then we're going to have a full walkthrough with you as well, where you're able to see what's behind the walls. We're going to make sure all your electrical is in the right places, where you're supposed to have LED mounts on the ceiling. You have those. You have your data lines. You'll get to see where your gas and plumbing lines are. So really kind of interactive meeting there. And then a week prior to closing, you're going to come back for a pre-closing orientation. And that is the most important meeting you're going to have with your builder, because at that time, the house is about 98% complete. And we're going to do a full walkthrough where, we not only teach you how to use the home efficiently and, how to report a warranty item, but we're also making a punch list. Anything that you're expecting to be touched up prior to closing, that's your time to kind of point those things out to make sure that that home is 100% complete at your final walkthrough the day of closing. And then again, that final meeting would be the celebration meeting. Yay, hooray, you're closing on your house. We take a fun photo and you're off to closing.
So that meeting that we do before the last one, the one that's a week or 10 days out, that's typically where 100% of our people do a home inspection, so that we have that home inspection to hand over to the builder when they still have a week, 10 days left to do it. For the pre-drywall, we would love to have people in town, but Mark and I have done many of those virtually also. But you absolutely, even if you have the ability to do the design studio virtually, you really want to make sure you're in town for that. And that's an in-person, so I can touch and feel and spend 3 hours. And I feel guilty about one thing, Megan. I was in there last week, and one of the sinks in the design center was just for show. And so I couldn't fill up the Keurig machine. And I thought all the sinks were just for show, and I needed a coffee. And so I did use bottled water from the refrigerator to fill up the Keurig machine to make a coffee. So I feel guilty about that, and I apologize.
That's okay. I forgive you for that one time, Jeff. Just don't do it again.
No, because I found out the other sink actually works. So I was able to fill it up for the clients. I got the bottled water coffee and they got the sink water coffee.
Oh, that's nice of you. You give the client.
I needed mine first.
I have to say too, the whole process with Del Webb, you guys really care about what the client thinks, and even if something may not be very apparent to you, and a client has dealt with something before, you try to rectify any issues at all. We already had that this week with some clients, so we appreciate your whole team working with us to try to make sure we've got happy clients all around. It only helps everybody. So thank you.
Yeah,
absolutely. No, that's our goal at the end of the day is, we want everybody to be happy, and we're a very customer focused company. And that is our number one focus, is to make sure we're doing the right thing at the end of the day. And we have happy homeowners when they're living in the home and living in the neighborhood. So
yeah. We got two questions. One from Roberta. Will there be any initial incentives offered by Pulte in Point Hope?
That is a fantastic question, and it's one I wish I knew the answer to. It really depends on market conditions at the time that we're ready to go in that neighborhood. I can tell you there will very, very likely be a mortgage incentive. So if you're using our lender, which is Pulte Mortgage Company, we do usually offer something towards closing costs and rate buy downs. So that will probably be something that's available at the time that we open. I just don't know anything beyond that. It's going to depend on how much demand we have once we open the neighborhood.
Roberta, this drives us insane. It drives Megan insane also, because we never know what's coming. Like we wish we knew. And at times things change from week to week, or sometimes builders will say, we've got incentives on the next two. And then after that, there's no incentives. All I can tell you is, if you were to buy a home today in Nextton, Megan, what are those incentives if they were to buy a home in Nextton today, as an example?
Great question. So if we were to buy a home today in Nextton, the Scenic series, our smallest homes, we would have 50% off options up to $20,000 in savings. So that's kind of structured. As long as you're spending $40,000, you're getting that full $20,000 back. For the Distinctive and the Echelon, it's 50% off options up to $35,000 in savings. So those are some great incentives right now for Del Webb Nexton. And, I know you both know, as soon as I do have really good incentives, I'm usually texting Jeff and Mark and the rest of their team. So they're some of the first ones to know about those when they do happen.
Yep.
And mortgage and cash incentives today in Nextton.
Yep. 2% with the use of our lender. Now that is off sales contract price, which is everything except for your design options. So 2% towards closing costs or a rate buy down. And then if they were paying cash, that is 1%, which we can apply to closing costs or the purchase price with cash.
And those also often will change. So and we hate that. We hate to say, because I never want to sound like when Mark and I meet with people, we're like, listen, we're down to sell your house this week, or we're down to sell your house in 2 years. If you're here deciding if Charleston is the right market for you, we just don't always know what the incentives are going to be. In general, I would say that I believe that the prices of these homes will continue to increase on a fairly regular basis in all the neighborhoods that we sell in, and especially in Point Hope. I believe that somebody buying a home in there a year from now will pay significantly more than what somebody did on day one.
Right.
There's just no way for us to know.
Yeah.
Barb's got a question. Does Pulte pay the buyer's agent commission?
We do, yes.
So
if you're bringing a buyer's agent into the picture, we are happy to be working with them. We do pay a 3% commission currently, which comes off of the total purchase price.
And there may be even an incentive for them to bring somebody in when they're dealing with a team like ours that does a lot of business, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we have a great realtor bonus program where the realtors in the area that are selling multiple homes in any of our communities, that could be Webb Nexton, that could be Webb Point Hope, that could be, a Pulte neighborhood or a Centex neighborhood. If you're doing multiple deals with us, then we do usually offer some sort of bonus or incentive that goes with that as well.
All right, Mark, I want the screen on me completely. I'm about to get serious for a minute. So what she just said there, and because it makes my head explode a little bit when people go into builders without representation, because there's just no downside. With Pulte and Webb, because of the volume of the Pulte homes that we sell, you will spend more for your home if you go in without me than what you will pay if you go in with me. And contractually, Meghan works for the seller. Meghan works for the builder. I contractually work for you. So I owe you everything. Fiduciary responsibility. I have to act in your best interest. Contractually, I owe you everything. And on top of it, especially when people are building from other parts of the country, I'm walking through the door on a regular basis, taking video of the house so you can be involved. When you can't come down to one of the meetings with the builder, it's Mark and I and Craig and all of our team that are at those meetings with you and the builder on a Zoom call. So when I say often, there's literally no downside to using us. There isn't downside. There's actually downside to not using us, because you'll pay more for the house going in without us. Because I'm going to bring Meghan up here back on the screen and ask her a question, because I want you all to hear it. Meghan, is there any discounts for not using a realtor? So are they going to pay less money coming in not having a realtor than with a realtor?
Yeah, I love that question. It's one that I get a lot. No, you will get no discounts. You do not get the 3% instead of them. Realtors are, the fact that y'all do these videos is a huge advertising endorsement for us. The fact that you sell multiple homes in our community and you're there to support these buyers, just like I am. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to support the buyer at the end of the day too. But to your point, I contractually work for the builder. So having that additional layer of support is invaluable, in my opinion. Somebody who knows the local market, somebody who, has sold these homes before, knows the process, can support you along the way. That's what you're making that money for, and to do great videos like this, so everybody can stay up to date on what's happening from Michigan or Florida or California, even though they're not here. You're not going to get that money if you don't have that realtor. That would be a huge business mistake on the builder's part.
Yeah. Well, we love working with Webb. Barb says, don't worry, Jeff. You guys will be my first call. Just exploring.
Barb, I promise I wasn't yelling at you. I was yelling to you.
And Valerie said, that's where I was, Barb. You'll quickly learn these guys are amazing. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Valerie.
Appreciate that very much.
We've actually had a busy week with Meghan this week. One of our team, Craig, had 2 closings in Webb this week. And Craig chose to go on vacation. So Mark and I have been doing all of Craig's closings this week. It was actually 2 family members that bought in there, 1 block apart from each other. So Mark and I have been in and out of Webb quite a bit this week.
And then Lance was in there too with his clients.
Yeah. Yep. Lance was in there doing a meeting today with the builder and landscaper and all kind of stuff. So
you want to hear something else cool? I got to tell y'all this. So you remember Dan and Lisa Shaver?
Yeah.
We're bringing them on as brand new ambassadors.
Good.
They're going to be the ones taking people out to dinner. They love the neighborhood. They're amazing people.
They're a perfect fit. Perfect fit.
They are. We're excited about that. And they loved their whole experience. They got the video updates from you.
Talk about the experience Webb and Nextton, and do we think that's going to be coming down the pike in Point Hope?
Yeah, great question. So I cannot recommend this program enough to people. We have a report that we pull every month that shows how many people buy in our neighborhood from doing this experience. And for those of you that don't know, there is a great program called the Experience Del Webb Stay, where you can come and stay on property in our neighborhood for 4 days and 3 nights. And the best part is it's only a total of $349. So it's cheaper than staying in a hotel room. And while you're in the neighborhood, you get to use the pool, you get to go to the fitness facility, you can go to the social events as long as, there's still tickets available to some things. You get a golf cart that you can drive around the community, and you go out to dinner with a resident ambassador, which is somebody who has lived in the community, and they're going to tell you all about their experience living there. So it's a really cool program. Our ambassadors, actually do get paid to take people out to dinner. And we had some previous clients that decided to do that, and we're excited to have them on board to share their experience living in the neighborhood. So I would highly encourage you to book that.
If you do that and you go to dinner at Oscar's with them, get the seafood burrito. It's fantastic.
Do we think that'll come to Point Hope too, or it'll just be in?
Great question. I do believe they're trying to incorporate that program into Del Webb Point Hope, but it will not be off the ground right away.
So if you guys make sense that would kick in after the amenity center opens, maybe. I get that it may not be on day one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just email us and we can try to get available dates for you. Megan and her team is really good at quick responses on those. Usually check-ins are Mondays and Fridays, right? Mondays and Fridays. Is that right?
Correct. Yep. It's either a Monday through Thursday or Friday through Monday.
Yeah. So just let us know if you are looking to come anytime soon. They're pretty booked up in the next 2 months, I think, though, right?
Yeah, we usually do book up about a month in advance. So we do, encourage you to book those early, if you can. But yeah, usually summer time frame is when a lot of people want to come because, of course, look at the pool. How can you not want to stay here?
Right. Right. Well, awesome. We went through an hour of stuff right there. So that was a lot. I know it went quick. If you guys have more questions, do us a favor, book a Zoom call with us. We would love to tell you everything we know about these 2 beautiful neighborhoods. We'll get Megan on them with us. If you have specific questions that we can't answer, she is always happy to join those with us, whenever she is available. And then, we can kind of book a stay when you're coming in town, and you can either do the Del Webb experience, or there's plenty of hotels right around us, experience the whole Nextton lifestyle, and Charleston, of course. So at the end of this video, I'll throw a QR code up. You can just scan that and book a Zoom call with us. Jeff, before I go, any final words?
No, I'm super excited. I mean, y'all that have been watching this channel for years now with us, first of all, thank you. But secondly, is you've heard me say 100 times, there's a high probability I'm going to be living in Del Webb once my girls are out of the house. I've got 15-and-a-half-year-old twin daughters, and because of those 2 little hoodlums, I can't live the Del Webb lifestyle, but I'm looking forward to it. I really like this neighborhood, and I'm super excited about Point Hope also.
Do you love it so much you put your parents there? I mean,
yeah. Mom and Dad are there. I'm gonna be there. It's it's a good chance I'll be there, and it's I'm a big fan.
Before we go, Valerie said maybe they'll take us out when we're there in September. We are staying at the mainstay model. I think she purposely selected that because she likes that model, if I remember right.
Yeah, that's a great new model. That was a good addition to the lineup there in Nextton. We've had a lot of people that have said that really like that model.
Yeah.
And then Ken said, we love it here. There's 2 models right across the street. I've met several people that have done the experience. Highly recommend. Yes, I agree, Ken.
Thanks,
Thank
Ken.
you for that. All right, everybody. Well, thanks so much for joining tonight. We appreciate it. And until next time, see ya.
See y'all.
Bye, everyone.